Walk the Line. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, giving you the Dynasty Week 9 golden picks of who I think is going to secure them a W going into Week 10. Now, the holidays are gone. I hope everybody had a good time enjoying themselves around family, good vibe, good energy, but it's back to football in the DML, so I'm not going to hold y'all up. I'm giving y'all these picks. Let's dive into it. First up, we got tight work in the Miami Dolphins versus C-Rob and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Dolphins defense comes into this game with the mentality and the formula on how to do one thing and one thing only, and that is killing the quarterback every single week. They enter this matchup with a total of 32 team sacks. Jameis Winston, I need you to tune in. Turn this volume up to the max because you're going to have to do two things this week. And that's one, quick reads. That's how you slow down the pass rush. Two, pray to God and hope that your running game can get going. Because if it cannot, this is going to be a long day because you're going to have this Miami Dolphins defense on your back all game. With my pick, I don't think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has what it takes to slow down this blazing Dolphins front four with the defensive side of the ball. So I'm taking the Miami Dolphins getting a W going into Week 10. Next up, we have T-Pain and the Detroit Lions versus Marizi and the New Orleans Saints. This game right here, both of these teams are in the funk patch so far this season. This game is just straight out, flat out, I'm going to call it how I see it. The battle for who can lock in the highest draft pick in this upcoming draft. Even though both of these rosters has talent and we witnessed and seen what both of these users can do when things are clicking, I'm going to have to go with the Saints in this matchup because I just think that they have a little bit more talent than this Detroit Lions team. So I'm taking the Saints getting the W going into Week 10. Next up, we got Bruce and the Cleveland Browns versus my Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a matchup right out, flat out for the division. Bruce comes in his matchup. Wasn't looking like his normal self in the first couple games this season, but he seemed after his last matchup against the Chiefs and KP, got back to that style of football that he likes to do. Round and pound and lean on that defense and Myles Garrett to wreak havoc and cause turnovers. Right now, my team entered this matchup ranked at the bottom half of the DML and turning over the ball. We have a total of 8 turnovers this game. So I'm praying that my team can figure out how to keep that going in the right direction. Don't turn over the ball and lean on what has been working. Not overthinking things, just taking what the defense gives us. Owner OG Chris Murray knows that this is a matchup that his organization must win. So the pressure is on out there in Pittsburgh. I'm never going to pick against myself. I'm taking my Steelers, getting a W going into Week 10. Next up, we got Eddie in the Houston Texans versus Solomon Kane in the Tennessee Titans. Must win for the Texans. The Jaguars right now are killing the competition, sitting at 7-0 at the top of their division. And that way the AFC is playing so far this season, everybody seems to have things clicking. So this is a must win for this Houston Texans team if they plan on making a playoff run, which Eddie's going to figure out how to do. But like I said, this is a must win game. Solomon, man, this is pretty much, he's in off-season mode. His team hasn't secured a W yet this season, so I expect for him to come out and play, his style of football and be competitive. But I just don't think that right now winning is in the plans of the Tennessee Titans this season. So with my pick, this is a no-brainer. I got 85 in the Texans getting a W going into Week 10. Next up, we got Schemer and the New York Jets versus Tone and the New England Patriots. The Jets, after last week, man, getting the rock right down his throat, owner, the Schemer, had a meeting with his coaching staff, man, and they pressed the reset button. So this week, man, they're going to have to do better with containing the run because last week they allowed Leonard Fournette to do whatever he wanted, and he's going into Foxborough with an offensive coordinator who loves to run the ball. Tone, it's very simple. Take a page out of the Jacksonville Jaguars book on what they did last week. Ground and pound the rock and figure out how to make this quarterback turn over the ball. If you can do that, I promise you will secure you a W in this matchup. Now my pick, this is a no-brainer also, man. I'm taking the Patriots, getting the W going into Week 10. I just think Tone will have the Jets figured out, and I still think that the way that defense played last week is going to be hard to shake it, and this is a divisional game right here. So I think that the Patriots are going to lock this one up. Next up, we got skill trade of Buffalo Bills versus Taz and the Cincinnati Bengals. This matchup right here, y'all, if y'all haven't got the news, this is the matchup right here that will bring back Hurt Locker. If the Bills can secure them a W, rumors are that one of the funniest episodes to date of Hurt Locker will be dropping ASAP. So if y'all want Hurt Locker back, man, I'm telling y'all better get in the Bills ear, skill trade ear, and give him the formula to beat any Cincinnati Bengals, because this right here is going to be a crazy game also. But let's talk stick skill wise and roster wise. I think that even though this Buffalo Bills team has so much talent, so much talent, they're not ready to compete yet in the DML. Taz, even though he hasn't produced as many wins this season, his team is alright, man. They're in somewhat of a rebuilding stage, trying to find their identity on both sides of the ball. But I like what I'm seeing and like the moves. Even though he's my division mate, I like the moves that he's making out there in Cincinnati. I think that this will be a game that the rookie quarterback should be able to showcase his skills and show why the Cincinnati Bengals took him in this previous draft. So my pick is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals, getting the W, going into Week 10. Next up, we have Embro and the Green Bay Packers versus the commish, Nasty Loop and the Atlanta Falcons. Tony Pollard enters this matchup ranked second in total rushing yards in the DML with a total of 935 rushing yards, 15 rushing touchdowns. God, jeez. Falcons, this is not the player that y'all wanted to face this week. Y'all enter this matchup with the 30th ranked run defense. It isn't going to cut it this week. Guys like Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, McKinley, Gregory Jarrett is going to have to figure out how to function as a unit if they plan on making this a game out there in Atlanta. Y'all gotta feed off that home crowd and come out with the mindset of locking the run game down. However, I don't think that this is going to be able to be accomplished in Atlanta. The way that the Packers O-line has been built and reconstructed, it's ridiculous, man. So with my pick, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers and that solid run game, running them all the way with a W into Week 10. Next up, we got the big homie in the Indianapolis Colts versus Sweets 99 and the Arizona Cardinals. Colts secondary has given up. The Colts secondary is ranked 31st in passing yards allowed. This week, y'all go into a very, very dangerous environment where they call themselves the Air Raid Kings, because they sling that rock and they're airing it out. But however, at least you don't gotta worry about the young, fast, white Tyreek Hill Isabella, because he will be sidelined for another 25 weeks. But your secondary still has guys that Sweets 99 can figure out how to get open to worry about. So the big homie, y'all need to hit the reset button and erase them previous games, whatever play calling y'all defense was calling, and get things together, because y'all going up against an owner who loves to sling the rock. Sweets is very simple. If it ain't broke, why try to fix it? You're going up against a secondary that's giving up 278 passing yards per game. Very simple. Stick to what you know, and you will secure a W this week. This is a no-brainer game. I'm taking Sweets 99 getting a W going into Week 10. Next up, we have Flair and the Los Angeles Rams versus Ralph and the Minnesota Vikings. This game right here, Flair enters this matchup with the longest win drought in the DML to date, with a total of 25 games played without getting a W. Ralph, you don't want to be that guy, man, that this record gets broken on. Stick to what you know. Don't fall victim to the trap and try to get this W. This right here, man, even though Flair is struggling, I think this is the game that he can get that W, man. Get the monkey somewhat off his back. So with my pick, I'm taking Flair and the Los Angeles Rams getting the W, putting the chip on Ralph's shoulder. Let's see who's going to secure this W in this matchup right here, boy. Next up, we got Andy Forrest and the Oakland Raiders versus Darkness and the Denver Broncos. This game right here, man, is a coin toss to me, because the Raiders, man, just seem to not have things clicking. And the worst thing you can do in any season in the DML is go on a vacation and come back and try to come back after your team has either hit a funk, or if your team is clicking, because it's real hard to get back into that groove. So this right here, man, like I said, will be a toss-up. Tails is the Raiders, heads is the Broncos. Tails it is. I'm taking the Raiders, getting the W, going into Week 10. Next up, we have Hamilton and the Carolina Panthers versus Expert and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Panther offense whoo, gets to play against the powerhouse Dallas Cowboys defense. Okay, shout out to Expert, man. He has been taking some heat from the previous for the previous weeks on somewhat of his game style and his game calling. But last week, man, he eliminated, I think, zero pitch or buck o pitch from his play calling, and he secured him a victory in a large margin. So I guess he's showing everybody that he doesn't have to call that play for him to win. And his defense, man, is stating why. They're ranked first against the run, 9th against points allowed, and 1st against yards allowed per game. I think this is going to be a matchup to where, though, the Panthers, man, is not going to have what it takes to compete with this Dallas Cowboys defense. They're home. They're coming off of a big, large victory last week against the 49ers. So I think this is the game where that momentum will keep them going forward. Well, my pick is a no-brainer. I'm taking the Cowboys, getting the W, going into Week 10. Next up, we have Jay and the Seattle Seahawks versus Richie and the New York Giants. Okay, this game, man, is when run game meets run game. Both of these guys, just trying to figure out how to secure W's this season, even though things that has not been going quite as what both users said, in my opinion, would suggest, it going. But this is what run game meets run game. Jay is a user who comes out every single week and is going to put everything on the line to try to secure him a W. Richie is the same exact way out there with the Giants. So I think in this matchup right here, even though the Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion, has way more firepower on the defense side of the ball where they can manage or slow down Saquon Barkley, I think that this week Saquon gets off. And I think the rookie running back also behind Saquon gets off too, giving them a slight advantage to get this W heading into Week 10. Moving on, we got the DML game of the week. We have Niner time in the San Francisco 49ers versus SJ and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I'm going to talk about these 49ers real fast. Even though the 49ers entered this matchup 4-3, they're coming off a crazy loss to the Dallas Cowboys. This is one of the most balanced users in the DML. He's going to have to figure out two simple things in this matchup. Even though they're simple, they're very hard to accomplish. But he's going to have to figure it out. Number one, he's going to have to figure out how to slow down Josh Allen. Josh Allen is entering this matchup ranked number one at getting after the quarterback with a total of 23.5 sacks. This is not going to cut it. You're going to have to figure out how to eliminate this guy from this game, because if you don't, no matter if it's Blake Bortles or Jimmy G back there, they're going to have a long day running from this guy, and he's going to make them make decisions to where they're going to be turning the ball over, putting your defense in bad positions to slow down his Jacksonville Jaguar high-power offense / run game. Second, you're going up against Leonard Fournette, who's the number one rusher in the DML. This week, get Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Kawhi Alexander, D Ford in the film room and also on the field, studying one play and one play only, inside zone, because it's coming to you firsthand in this matchup. If you can figure out how to do these two things, you can make this a game and possibly secure you a W, getting your team back in the right direction. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars, SJ, lean on what works, baby. I'm not mad at you. The run game and the defense is what's working. Let's talk about this run game. The Jacksonville Jaguars come in with one of the top 5 rushing offenses in the DML. Even though a lot of guys may throw some shade and say it's all inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, inside zone. Yes, everyone who has been around in the DML for a while knows when you're playing against SJ, he's going to run that inside zone down your throat 101 times. And the 102nd time, he's going to do probably a toss or an outside zone, but majority of the time, it's going to be an inside zone. If you can't fix it, if you can't stop it, and you know it's coming, you need to stop complaining to SJ and start hitting the lab and figuring out how to stop that shit. But lean on what's working. The inside zone is working. Keep doing it. And this guy, Josh Allen, oh my God. This boy better go into the film room and look at what the Dallas Cowboy defensive line did to this San Francisco 49er offense. Because last week they gave up a total of 8 sacks. I know Josh Allen, if you're listening to this right now, you smiling from ear to ear because you already know you can get 8 sacks by yourself. So this game right here could go one or two ways. Either this is going to be a good matchup, or it's going to be one of those games where you stop tuning in by the second quarter. Depending on how the San Francisco 49ers offense can adapt to this defense or how they play will determine if Carl can get him a W going into week 9. Now, I got to pick it. Even though I like the way SJ is playing right now, he's playing at the best football I've seen him play yet in the DML to date. I think that the 49ers will figure out how to contain Josh Allen, slowing him down with their run game, and whoever he decides to start at quarterback, making quick reads, messing up, this Jacksonville Jaguar front for timing on the snaps, and just fatiguing him, making him very tired. I think he can manage his game in which he can secure him a W. So I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers, locking in the W going into week 10. And those were my golden picks on who I thought was going to secure the W. Slow down make this user make mistakes. And let's dive into the OG thoughts. Okay, y'all. These are the OG thoughts. Going in with the number 1 most explosive offense, I gotta give it to Sweets 99 this week because he's going up against a user who can't figure out how to stop the one most dangerous thing that Sweets is good at, and that's the passing game. So I'm expecting Sweets offense to show out this week and do their thing. Moving on, we got Mr. Stingy of the week, and I had to get at the expert. This guy's coming in with the number 1 ranked defense in the DML with, like I said, total passing yards allowed, 9th ranked in points allowed, and he is stopping the passing game and he is stopping the run. It's hard to pick against that, man. This guy came out last week and didn't play with the number 1 play that everybody said that he keeps cheesing, and he blew the doors off of his game against the 49ers. I think guys need to start giving this dude a little bit more credit than what he's earned. Moving on, Casper of the week, I gotta go with Josh Allen. I think that the San Francisco 49ers has studied what SJ likes to do. When it causing pressure, I think that he's going to lean on his run game and make a lot of quick reads. Whereas though Josh Allen can't really get that many hits off on the quarterback. Breakout player of the week, I made this guy last week Casper of the week, and Embrew showed me why I should not have done that. This week, man, I gotta go with Tony Pollard of the Green Bay Packers, the running back. He's going up against a defense that's ranked 30th in stopping the run. Come on, man. This is like giving a kid 2 birthday cakes on their birthday. Tony Pollard is smiling ear to ear. I think that he will come out in this game with the same mentality he's been doing week after week, and that's breaking runs off for 20. Next thing you know, he's breaking off for 30. Next thing you know, he's taking it to the house. So y'all got my picks on who I thought was going to secure the W's going into week 10. And you got my thoughts on most explosive offense for the week, Mr. Stingy of the week, Casper of the week, who's going to go completely ghost, and a breakout player of the week. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'm your host, OG Chris Murray. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on who you think can fit all these categories. I'm out.